the kind of guy that would say, hey baby, let's get away, let's go someplace, where I don't care.
I don't know what Big U was about, and he's the inspiration for Deebo. Yes, Big U is based on Deebo is based on Big U.
I'm making so much money off of Deebo. Make money off of Zeus. The whole thing about me being with Monster Energy Drink, they have a bicycle. They play that character. People want to see that character. He's, I told you, I pulled that from Big U. I used him as my background of how I wanted this character to be perceived. Because the whole thing about how bad this guy was is when Ice Cube pulled the on him. He said, what you gonna do with that? Besides make me mad.
Now, I don't think nobody knocked him out, but Deebo is based on Big U. Deebo is based off of Big U. So that lets you know the fear and the reverence and respect that this man had in the hood. Could you imagine a young Big U? That he was always big, stocky, and hand game crazy. So he went to jail for a couple of armed robberies and a couple of attempted for a few. I think he did 12 years. When he gets in jail, he's corresponding with Suge Knight. He's talking to Suge Knight. He's hanging with Suge.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is WD3, and this is your Hill Report news break. Well, today, happy Sabbath to some of you guys, and hopefully you guys are enjoying your weekend. But on to the story that we've been following, the Big U indictment, the Rolling 60s gang RICO. It seems that there are new charges. It seems like what's come to the forefront in this Big U RICO has been the practice of checking in how other artists come to town, and how they have to check in order, I don't know what would happen, for bad things to happen to you, maybe as a ensure that bad things don't happen to you. In some cases, what people are explaining is bad things happen to you even when you check in. So the feds have been following all this. It seems like different characters who are named in the RICO have been positioning themselves ahead of time and getting facts and getting stories out there from their perspective ahead of time. This is all, a lot of things are coming out daily. We're keeping you updated on the story because it does affect the community. What we want to do is come out of this more positive, come out of this wiser as a community. They say that even Deebo on Friday was based on Big U, so that character is very notorious, very interesting stuff. I'll even show you the clip. Well, you saw the clip, but let's get into, there's a character on the internet, Gilly the Kid. He had a run-in that's being explained here in this clip.
Damn, loose cannon been telling on Big U and the 60s since forever.
About Gilly the Kid getting robbed in the 60s. Do you know anything about that? Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, him and the son got stripped down, butt naked. I mean, not butt naked, to their drawers. So when they got stripped down, basically it was an inside job. And then Nip pulled up and he gave him, like, Gilly, like, I think like 25,000. You get what I'm saying?
So this happened when Nipsey was alive? Because I heard this happened after.
Nah.
I could have swore they said this happened after.
Nah, Nip was alive when it happened.
Okay. And so Nipsey helped him get his jewelry back? Or
No, you ain't getting that back. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Gilly was hollering out, "Oh, we with Big U. We with Big U." And it was, it was like, we don't give a who you with. You get what I'm saying? Lay down.
Right, because the rumors is that's
Big
why
useless, yeah.
They got set up, yeah.
But Gilly still quit him.
Big U indictment unsealed. There's 6 defendants, 43 counts. This seems different than what we heard a couple weeks ago of 16 people arrested and charged as part of a different gang indictment. Here, what they're saying is the Big U enterprise, along with his 5 associates, yes, Termaine Ashley Williams, aka Loose Cannon, is alleged to be part of this enterprise. He's part of the robbery angle. There's a lot of charges. Let me take you through the primary charges. The first, the Fed's favorite, it's a criminal RICO enterprise. What are they involved in? Robbery and extortion. I don't know if you've heard anything about Big U and his cohorts extorting people, but the Feds seem to think that what you may have heard is true. There's transportation for prostitution, there's bank and wire fraud, you have tax crimes, obstruction of justice. Now, there's a number of different schemes that they're saying the Big U enterprise engaged in. One of them, you've probably heard of it, is the check-in extortion scheme. You're an out-of-town celebrity or a gang member and you want to come to LA, well, you better get permission from Henley, according to the Feds, because a failure to check in will result in robberies, assaults, or worse. They reference that the Check-In podcast, I haven't seen it, I don't know if you've seen it, please direct me to the Check-In podcast, was used to legitimize this practice. The other charge, the murder of a rapper in Las Vegas. R.W., the rapper, was with Unique Music and allegedly murdered by Henley after perceived disrespect. The Feds say they have surveillance, cell phone data, and family interviews that all point to Henley as being the last person seen with R.W., the murdered rapper. And they say that there was an alleged cover-up where Henley and his associates went into the studio and got the surveillance tapes right before the murder happened. There's armed robbery of a marijuana dispensary. Henley allegedly ordered the robbery of a dispensary where an extortion victim worked. After the robbery, the victim was invited to Henley's home and told, "That's how you rob yourself." There's allegations of ongoing robberies and threats by Loose Cannon. They say they allege that Williams continued violent behavior, including a recent pistol whipping that was caught on video. Then there's extortion of business owners. Victims were extorted for thousands per month with threats of violence or robbery if they did not comply. There's a human trafficking and a sex trafficking allegation where Henley paid people to transport women across state lines for prostitution. The Feds say they've intercepted communications showing explicit instructions and references to sex work. There's fraud and embezzlement. They're saying that Henley used his nonprofit called Developing Options to fraudulently obtain grants. I think they're talking about PPP fraud or other COVID-19 related loans. There was the EIDL loan. And allegedly, he used fraud to obtain this stuff because he lied on the applications about what the enterprise, what the business actually did and who its employees were and how they were going to use the money. Then a nice little ending is, hey, after we announced the charges against him, he went online using somebody else's Instagram account. He got rid of his phones, stopped using them, and then went on somebody else's Instagram account and said, yo, my co-defendants, don't talk to them. They're losers. They're doing wrong. The Feds seem to think that this guy was at the center of a criminal organization that's been running from 2010 to 2025. There's a probable cause affidavit. They said they've gotten all types of search warrants and subpoena returns in support of all of these crimes. The big question that I have that I can't understand is why are there only 6 people in this indictment? And then a couple of weeks ago, we got word of 16 that were rounded up and arrested as part of a RICO enterprise. Stay tuned.
This is WD3. Welcome back. The Hill Report News Break. Well, as you guys can see, there are a lot of things still coming out to people who just basically working every day. Maybe you probably don't know about any of these things and any of these characters. There's a few podcasts that highlight a lot of these characters. A lot of people say that some of these things look like a setup by the podcast hosts themselves. That is an interesting theory. They're saying that guys like Adam 22 or the Vlad TVs of the world are really FBI interrogators on the low. And what they're doing is just forcing these guys for the notoriety in exchange for the notoriety that they're seeking, maybe to change their lives, to get their music to the forefront or get their projects to the forefront. They use these platforms, and the platforms are then used as information gathering through interrogation, soft interrogation, not like cup of coffee and a cigarette, but more like a blunt and I don't know, a bottle of Hennessy. I mean, really, literally. I'm not even kidding. And everything is switched around, but this is an interrogation. And normally, what happens is these guys get indicted soon after they are on these shows. Um, Interesting stuff. All of it that's coming out. We're gonna keep you guys posted on what's coming out. It's sad for every party involved. Um, we definitely don't wish any of this on anybody. God bless the victims of any of these crimes. Um, and you guys just stay tuned and we'll come out with a lot more information as we get it. And if you guys got information, put it in the comments. This is WD3. Like, share, and subscribe. You'll hear Report News Break. You can find the news break on Instagram, Twitter, or X, Facebook, all over the place. Um, Check out the businesses that are very supportive of the community here in the Antelope Valley. We have them posted on our channel. And you guys have a great rest of your day.